Good morning. It is Monday the somethingth of January. What is it? It's the 18th of January. I've already checked that twice, but I still couldn't remember. And I've got a quiet moment now. We don't know how long it will last, but we'll see how it goes. To show you the next 3 journals from my year-long project. I haven't had a flip through these for a long time, and I haven't done it before I've sat down to make the video. So I may find some surprising things, good and bad. It'll be a proper warts and all, particularly as these 3 journals cover March, April and May of 2020, which, as you know, was a challenging time for the world. And so we will see. Oh, I've got an interesting glue bubble going on here. Weird. Right, I'm getting distracted. Right, sorry. Distracted by glue bubbles. So we're going to have a look through these together and we'll see how far we get before we get interrupted. The dog's just gone out for a walk. So, and both the children, my young adult and my teenager, well, they're both teenagers. Anyway, they haven't emerged from their rooms yet. One of them's not got college today and the other one's got a school inset day, so he doesn't have to get up and do a whole day's worth of lessons online, which he's very grateful for, although he's been working very, very hard. All right, enough yakking. Right, let's move these 2 out of the way. So this was March. So this was the 4th journal I made. Yeah, I can't say that I was necessarily feeling the flow and rhythm of this yet. I think I'd found maybe a little bit the previous month, but you know, in March things started to get a bit weird, but I continued. I did it. I made a journal every month for a year, regardless of how challenging that month was, and it's been a really valuable journey. So this just has a cover in this really lovely printed, it's upholstery fabric, so for furniture and curtains, and it was probably a fabric sample that I'd ordered. We have just a floating hair tie, and then just a really simple bit of torn collage, some embossed paper which I've had like, I don't know, 20 years, label, tiny bit of lace, and I just cut that with pinking shears all the way around. We have a slightly incoherent collage here. So we've just got a fussy cut from, this was from an interior decor book, a sticker, bits of lace. I've got some ribbon sewn under this button. I don't know quite, oh no, it's just it's not sewn into there at all. It's just like caught in there from somewhere. I don't know. So we've got a little fabric collage here with, there is a bit of slow stitching in there that I've done. Well, probably one of my first bits of slow stitching last year. I mean, I've done other similar things before, but in terms of journal embellishments, a little bit of paisley, one of my decoupaged buttons, little lacy tab. Oh, that's just not even ever been stuck down. It's just paper clipped on there. I think I meant to stick that down. Right. Stamp, a bit more of that paper and a cutout. Pretty basic bit of music paper and 2 stickers. Then we've got a bit of a blue spread here. Some little paper buttons that I'd made. A label, some William Morris, a sticker. And a bit more of these. So these are quite minimal collages. Yeah, they're all right. They're journal pages. But I think in some ways, some of these pages are a bit of a cursory fill. I was obviously working in a big blue a little bit. Yeah, we've got a few kind of blue spreads going on here. I'd obviously been having a fabric clear out because lots of these bits I've had for a long time. This is vintage book page here. A little bit of an apothecary label. Some medieval mirage paper, and that is little card there. Sticker. I think that's quite a pretty page. Again, it's just stickers and little scraps. It's quite a pretty page. I've obviously done some distressing on here. A bit of journaling. It's just a leaf postcard and a little envelope pocket I'd made. That's a pretty little scrappy envelope there. I like that one. And here, see, we've got something a bit more elaborate going on here. We've got a little tea bag thingy. Let's get it that way. Sticker. And then this flips out with some journaling there. Something a bit brighter there with some washi. Little clock there. I don't know if you know this, little sort of website people. It's called I can't even say it. Grandiloquent word of the day. So it's about sort of unnecessarily posh words. And this was apt at the beginning of lockdown. Incabinate, to enclose in a cabin, to confine or sequester, to seclude or to seek isolation. And it wasn't something a lot of people were choosing at that time last year, but I thought incabinate was quite a good summary of what a lot of people were doing, and I think a lot of people were feeling incabinated. And one silver lining, if we can look on the bright side of things for me, was that I'm quite used to spending a lot of time at home and not going out a lot of places. My health hasn't allowed me to do that. And there was something on social media that said, you know, introverts contact your extrovert friends. They do not know how to do this. They are not okay. And that really resonated for me, because some of my friends who have much busier social lives than I do struggled a lot more with not being able to go out and do things. It's something that I don't mind. I have to say, I find it easier when there's fewer people around, it has to be said. Anyway, on with the page. This is a really lovely blue end paper I found online. Sticker, bit of scrappy muslin here. And I think this music paper must have come from one of my son's violin books. He's a very good violinist, and his teacher had written here alive as a sort of an indication of how the music should sound, and I thought that was good, and sort of resonance. So I think I cut the centre out of a little label sticker and then framed it like that. Sweet little spread there. This, I had a box of berry tea bags that were really out of date in the cupboard, and I stained up some paper and fabric with them. And actually, it's really fascinating because the fabrics turned to this deep purple colour, and the tea bag paper. So I turned this deep purple colour and stayed it, and this is the paper made from the same tea stain. And when the paper dried, it dried to this greyish purple colour. And I stained some cotton fabric and some felt, and these are the tea bags, and they came out this deep purple. Somebody probably knows chemically why that would happen, but I thought it was fascinating. And I kept the tea bags, and there's a little tea bag pocket there with nothing in it, but sweet little page there, and a pocket, probably with nothing in it. Yes, unfilled pockets, that's obviously the theme of this journal. bit of fussy cut, bit of scrappy collage. Then slightly less finished looking spread there. Lots of bits and pieces, Hessian, cotton, bit of label, bit of scrappy trim. These are the bits off the tea bag. A little music covered, paper covered tag, doily and a sticker. I've written here, focus on the things you can control, which was good. And a little flower sticker there. So lots of stickers, fairly simple, basic, scrappy spreads. Nothing rocket science, but it was a difficult time. And I filled this book, which was my intention, with no kind of other parameters on it. I did it. Right, next one. So this is April. This is the cover I really don't like and was so tempted to redo before I shared these journals and made videos. But it's warts and all, it's the process. It's not about having 12 perfect journals, they're far from that. So yeah, this is just scrapbook paper, really lovely scrapbook paper. I've been playing around with transparent layers over things, so I've been printing onto vellum. So this is the vellum that's stuck down here, but actually I found I prefer tracing paper to the vellum, which gets a bit sort of stiff and sort of brittle after you've glued it. And it doesn't behave very well in the printer either. So April 2020. I've got a bit of a green theme going on this month by the look of it. Whether that remains throughout the journal, I don't know. I wasn't necessarily trying to create themed journals every month, although you will see towards the end it starts to become a little bit more like that. So we've got a mixture of fabrics and scraps and a little bit of stamped scrap there. A little bit of marbled end paper. Slightly weird looking collage. But here we've got the emergence of some sleigh stitching. These are eggs from a book, a vintage book I've got. They're copies of the colour plates. Simple little collage, little belly band there, not holding anything. You know, I think a lot of these empty pockets and belly bands in this little batch, or certainly these two, is testament to the fact that I wasn't necessarily coming back and doing more work in them. I was filling them, but I wasn't sort of burgeoning with ideas. Yeah, I was finding it hard to do any kind of coherent creativity. I was sort of managing to do bits and pieces and things like, I don't know, if in doubt, tea stain paper is one of the things that I sometimes do. So I did a lot of tea staining and things like that because I was finding it really hard to focus. But I did manage to focus enough to fill these journals. Another simple collage. These are cutouts from William Morris, one of my all-time favourite artists. A little vintage stamp. Stickers and fussy cuts. A bit of vellum. I think I must have stained these pages before they went in or after they'd gone in, but I certainly laid down a level. I'm working again with that sort of Baroque flourish pattern and some vellum. Lots of grungy greens. Oh my word. I'm not entirely sure about what's gone on here. This is very, very, yes, okay. Little fold out spot here. Oh, falling out of there. Right, this is a very crinkly page with lots of layers. I think I've watercoloured. Look, I've been playing with watercolour, washi, more of the vellum. Little cluster there with some music paper. It's experimental, and that's what this was for. Yeah, as I said, I think tracing paper works better than vellum, and I would do that again with that. Little simple collage there. Just really scrappy bits of printouts, stained papers and vintage papers. And again here, I quite like that. It's a bit calmer than the others. A simple bit of torn collage here. A little bit of grungy trim. So I think I've gone through and I've maybe done several pages at a time, when I felt that I can focus. And I've gone through, because you can see the same, similar papers going through. So I might have had a burst of creativity and then done several pages at a time, it feels. Yeah. Some of these were scrappy trims that have been made up at different times. Got stuck in, so I've actually got a pocket with a tag in it here. Just a little collaged tag. I bought these a long time ago. They have the most ridiculously enormous holes in them. I know not why. This is green seam binding, bias binding, but I tea stained it and it goes this really nice mossy colour with the tea stain. Little print out there. Little bit of journaling underneath. That one's just stuck down. Scrappy collage, and for some reason in the last page we flipped to red. So another one of those little fold out journaling spots, and a little tuck spot here with some bit of textile that's been cut off a garment, an altered playing card with a bit of ledger on the back. Well, not very altered. A playing card with a bit of ledger stuck on the back. So yeah, not the best cover. Some of the inside spreads were a fairly sort of perfunctory thing. I was doing it because I said I'd do it and I needed to do it, and the process of doing it was very good for me. It wasn't about, it was important not to care about how they came out. It was important just to go through that process. And yeah, I did it, even in April 2020, probably one of the most challenging months of a lot of people's lives, and certainly in mine. But I still carried through with my intention, and I'm really, I am really proud of myself for that. Okay, number 3. March. No. May 2020. So, and we've got some textile, some stitching. It's got a nice soft cover, this one. This fabric here is cushions we have in our bedroom. A little sort of cover spread here with a sticker and a journaling card, a label that I've stamped on some ledger paper or similar. Little bluish collage going on here. Another one of those giant hole tags. We're still in lockdown at this point. Yeah, nice little opening spread. This is scrapbook paper. It's arts and crafts, art Nouveau era designs from the Victoria and Albert Museum, which I have a few packs of that scrapbook paper that I bought seriously reduced some years ago, and they're still going, but I do use them. Now here, I remember this, I'd made a journal for my sister's 50th birthday, and it was not my sister-in-law's 50th birthday, and I was working on I've been working on some Digital Designs Blue Botanical digis. So these are some of the images I found, and also some of the bits of the digital collage I made. And when I've worked on a digital collage and put all the elements there, just taking a piece of it, or all of it, and sticking it down as a physical record of some of those pieces of art. I really like doing that in my in these journals. These are some ledgers, some sort of legal documents that I have, and they're copies, and they're on this blue paper. A painty paper there made into a tab. Little flippy fabric with nothing underneath it. More painty paper with the, I've got a punch that makes this sort of fake edge thing, because I do so love those torn bits from the edges of ring bound pads. It's a little bit of mulberry paper, more William Morris. Just some little stickers. That's a piece of random scrapbook paper. Little, I think I'd be making fabric yo-yos. And look, there's the edge from one of the circle, cutting out circles. Little bit of painty paper there, making a little sort of hinge for this flip out, which didn't get finished underneath. Vintage stamp, bit of bus ticket. This is a Bristol bus ticket, which is the city I live in. Another little fabric flip here. Just a little collage. Stained bits, painty bits, printed out bits, and ephemera. And here I found this image online. It was a sort of multiple flowers in this, the monotone, monochrome in black and white. And I really fell in love with that image, and I've used it quite a lot on lots of things, but you can see it popping up here. And here I was getting into some more stitchery, and this was a paper staining experiment. It's a little paper bag pocket, and here these little yo-yos, and I've crocheted a little circle here. So I was playing with crochet thread and stitching, and actually stitching and crocheting I find very calming as well as collage, and it's also something I can, take myself up into the bedroom with, and be quiet and away from the busyness of the house. So yeah, stitching and crocheting was something that I was doing a fair bit of at this point in time. I'd also just finished making an enormous crochet blanket for my niece, which had been a bit of a labour of love and not necessarily one. I was pleased to finish it. I like crocheting the squares, but the sort of sewing it all together and the construction can be quite hard work, and it was a big blanket. Anyway, I was pleased to finish it. I absolutely loved making it for her. But then I wanted something stitchy to do that was very different. So crocheting the circles and making the yo-yos, I really enjoyed. Okay. Little bit of collage here, a little bit of this wide washi, which is quite bright, but I still love it so much, and I'm glad it's in a couple of these journals. Little scrappy collage, little, I think I'd stamped on book paper, and just coloured it in. I bought this bandage and tea stained it, but it's not quite the right texture. Little journaling card there with some homemade labels. It's a little avocado stained envelope. That's what it is. Little fold out paper bag pocket here with a blank scrap of tea stained lined paper. A little grubbied up playing card there. Another crocheted little circly thing. What is the name for those? I don't know. Over one of my vintage tickets, and a little triple belly band, which I've machine stitched across with little word cards, which I'd been, again, made on my iPad for something else. Tend, grow and flourish, which is kind of things I was trying to tend. I don't know whether I was growing or flourishing. There we go, just a little bit of grungied up paper. Another tag and a pocket. And that's that. So that process and the fact that I managed to continue doing it through those 3 months, I think was really key, because I think that was the point at which I might have said, stuff it, I'm not going to do this. It's all too much. I can't do this project. And I didn't. I stayed on the path and just kept going, just kept doing it. And some journals were done, you know, steadily. Some of them were done in a couple of big sort of rushes of creativity. Some of them I had to sort of force myself to come in and do every page, or in the last few days of the month said, right, I'm going to finish this, and went in and just stuck a load of stuff down. But I'm really pleased I did. So thank you for watching. Sorry if I've whittled on too much, but thank you very much for taking the time to see what I've been doing. And if you like the video, please leave me a like. Please subscribe if you haven't. You can find me on Instagram, where I am handmade_bookmakery. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.